The evolution of ghost hunting has soared over the years, especially in the last decade. Sometimes though, to find your next piece of equipment, you have to go back to the basics, back to the origin of paranormal research. Dowsing rods. Often two L-shaped metal rods have been used in Europe since the last 15th and 16th century, mainly for finding underground water or mineral veins. By the 17th and 18th centuries, some were also using them to locate buried treasure, lost objects, or criminals, which edged into the supernatural. During the spiritualist movement of the mid to late 1800s, when seances, spirit photography, and table tipping were popular, dowsing rods were occasionally adapted for spiritual communication. Instead of detecting water, the rods were said to point towards areas of high psychic energy or towards the location of a spirit in a room. This was loosely connected to automatic writing and pendulums, tools that were supposedly moved under spiritual influence. The association of dowsing rods and ghost hunting really solidified in the 1970s through the 1990s. As paranormal investigation became more structured. The idea was that spirits could influence subtle energy fields, causing the rods to cross, separate, or swing towards the spiritual presence. So the great company of Paranormic sent us their dowsing rod kit that they have available on their website. We're gonna go ahead and unbox it, do a review, and see what this is all about. Paranormic once again hits a home run with the packaging of another one of their products. As you can see, this is a hard shell box. Looks great, has everything that you need to know on the outside. So as you can see with this dowsing rod kit, it is made out of 99.9% copper. It comes with a pendulum as well. On the back side of the kit, it tells you everything that you have. 2 dowsing rods. You have 1 pendulum board, 1 pendulum, 1 clear quartz pendulum, and 1 carrying pouch. Opening the box, as you can see, very nicely packaged. We have the carrying pouch, branded of course. Feels like a good quality pouch to carry all your stuff, making sure you're keeping your equipment nice, clean, and protected. So it also comes with an information card, kind of giving you directions on how to best communicate with the spirits if you really want to channel in and use these rods to their full potential. All right, underneath the card, you will have everything nicely secured in a foam casing. So we'll look at the pendulum board first. This is actually really nice because people who just have the pendulum, they have to base their answers on whether the pendulum is moving clockwise, counterclockwise, whether it's staying still or whether it's moving at all. This is a nice board because spirits can influence the energy around and pull the pendulum to any of these answers that are here across the board. Along with the pendulum board, you do have your crystal pendulum here. So how you would use this, you would really channel in, center yourself, get a good feel of the environment, breathe clear, and making sure that your own body is not affecting this pendulum in any way. So the goal is, if you do come in contact with a spirit, the spirit can manipulate the energy to influence on where this pendulum goes, hopefully answering your question to the best of its ability and accurately. So looking at the rods themselves, they are very well constructed. As you can see, you have the handles and you have the long rod going up through the handle, and it has a little notch at the end to make sure that this handle doesn't slip off. I've seen others where they more so put on a cap, and that cap can break off, which would ruin your rods. So as you can see, they're nice and shiny. Throughout time, the more your hands touch these rods, the more that they're oxidized. They will tarnish in color, but the nice thing is, at the very bottom of this information card, they state that the rods will tarnish over time, and they actually give you instructions on how to clean them and how to properly care for them, which was a nice gesture of the Paranormal team to include. So in the information card, they also mention on how to use the rods for their intended use on finding minerals and water, as well as the spiritual use of them. So when using the rods, you're gonna wanna have them a little ways from your body, and they do swivel. As you can see, they swivel. So you wanna make sure that you are pointing straight as can be. And once they find their baseline there, you wanna communicate with the spirits on how you want them to influence the rods in response to your question. It is always important to be respectful. It'll help you get better results in the spiritual world. So ways that we've used these on our personal investigation is we would have them separate the rods for a no answer, cross the rods for a yes answer. They can influence the rods on which direction they want us to go or what direction is the answer that we seek. The best use, in our opinion, for these rods are to help guide your investigation, to help guide to see where the spirit is wanting you to go. Does Does the spirit want you to talk to it in a specific room for a specific reason? Does the spirit want to guide you to other spiritual beings at the location? And then once you're guided on where you should go, that's when it's time to utilize the more modern electronic devices, such as the spirit box. Paranormic also makes a spirit box. Up in the card here, you'll see the link to that video. It's one of our favorite spirit box models, and you can use these two pieces of equipment, the old and the new, to structure your investigation and to gather the best results possible. Nighttime has fallen, the weather is cooler. What better way to test out the dowsing rods other than take it to our local haunted place in Beaver Creek to test them out, do a little field test. All right, making sure. Now right now what I'm doing is I'm making sure that my hands are not touching the base of the rods or the top of the rods. Can you see that, Jack?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they're moving a little bit. That's just me kind of getting adjusted. All right, if there are any spirits in this mill, you know who we are. You come here just with most respect. We're only going to be here for a little bit. We just want to see if you can affect these rods to kind of point and shape them in ways that can answer our questions. There's a spirit named Joseph here, I heard. Joseph, if you're here, can you cross these rods? Whoa. Well, whoa.
That's weird, dude.
So that's telling me no, right? So these were straight as an arrow. I didn't do anything different. Do you know what this is actually kind of like telling me? Look where the rod is pointing. The exit.
Oh.
I think it wants us to go. Like, no, we're not doing this. That's where we came in. Are you telling us to leave? If you're telling us to leave, can you use the other? Wow. Did you see that? That right rod clicked even more. Like it's swinging even more towards the exit. If you want us to leave, can you bring the other rod?
Oh my gosh. Straight to the exit. That's wild, dude.
Well, that's kind of crazy.
So what it looks like to us is that these spirits are telling us, are using the rods in a directional way instead of a yes or no way. Which we've had this happen with our old dowsing rods over at Prospect Place a few years back, telling us which room is which was really crazy to think about, that they can use these rods in this kind of way. So what this is telling us is that the spirits want us to leave.
So a lot of spirits, remember, you are in their home, and a lot of spirits don't like communicating with you, and this isn't the first time we've been told to get out of this mill.
Not at all.
All right, can you reset these rods? Okay.
Well, that was pretty quick there.
Okay.
All right. To anybody that we're speaking with, wow, that came together pretty quick. All right. If for any spirits that are here with us, or any being that's here with us, we just want to introduce ourselves a little bit. We've been here a few times. My name's Jack, and this is Kyle. We're just here to kind of hang out, conversate, get to know you a little bit, and we mean all respect in your home.
With that being said, if you're okay with us just staying for a little bit to ask a couple questions, can you cross these rods? And if you want us to leave, can you point towards the exit?
We're trying.
Touching.
They're crossed.
And they're crossed.
Yep. And just like that, just being a little respectful to whoever you're talking to goes a long way. When you're screaming and doing everything you see on YouTube, you're not going to get the best results.
Not to mention that whenever you do go into an investigation being disrespectful, you're also subjecting yourself to real danger, spiritual danger. And that's not something that, you know, we know a lot about, and that's not something that we want to know a lot about firsthand. So just keep that in mind. So, was there a little girl named Gretchen who passed away nearby?
Immediate, yes.
And look how far that went. All right. Wow.
Jeez, dude.
All right. Can you straighten these rods?
Okay.
There's no way. Wow.
It's as soon as we were being respectful and like,
See how straight of it, I mean, they were straight as an arrow.
right.
We asked a few questions, nothing. They got irritated, they said, get out. You mentioned a respectful way of communicating, and now, okay. So, can you tell me, is Gretchen in this mill with us? Can you cross these rods? Not even a little bit.
Stiff.
I'm going to count from 1 all the way up until you cross these rods. Can you cross the rods at whatever number I land on that correlates with the number of spirits that are in this room? So whenever I say, if there are 2 spirits in this room, you can cross the rods at 2. If there's 4, you can cross them at 4. Is there 1 spirit in this room? 1 spirit. Are there 2 spirits in this mill?
2.
Whoa.
2. Pretty immediate.
Whoa, that was swung over. 2. All right, can you reset the rods for me? Whoa. All the way around.
That's crazy.
Pointing towards me.
Okay, so
Actually,
okay, we got to think about this.
kind of scary.
We got to think about this
One
one.
pointed at me, one pointed at you.
Dude, that's what I was just going to say.
Really?
I was going to say, but I didn't notice that until you mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was going to say, it stopped on 2. So are they saying that we are?
Spirits?
Maybe.
We're different from them.
Maybe they took it as how many people are here.
Is there a female spirit in this mill? All right.
Pretty immediate.
That makes me feel better about me using spirits.
Yep. Can you uncross those? Thank you. Is Esther Hale with us?
Yeah. It's a third dimension one.
Thank you so much. Can you reset them for me, please?
It feels so controlled. And I'm curious, if you've had any luck with dowsing rods, leave a comment down below. What do you like about your dowsing rods? What don't you like about your dowsing rods? What way do you utilize your dowsing rods in order to persuade your own investigation? So there you have it, kind of a shorter video explaining the dowsing rods, but it's a simple piece of equipment. We're going back to the basics. There's not too much to talk about other than what they were originally used for and technically still used for, and how evolution brought that over to paranormal investigation. But some of the best utilization of paranormal equipment aren't even built to be for the paranormal. It was discovered later on that it can be utilized for finding spiritual presences. And that's exactly what happened with dowsing rods. Dowsing rods are the backbone of paranormal research. They started it all, and it's important to have in your arsenal of paranormal equipment. Use dowsing rods to your advantage. Sometimes you just gotta go back to the basics. If you do wanna see these dowsing rods in action, you can subscribe to us on YouTube at Hauntings of Ohio. And if you are browsing for that next piece of paranormal equipment and you know of dowsing rods and a pendulum, this is an excellent kit to purchase. We will drop the link down in the description. You can find these on Amazon, or you can go on Paranormic's website and they will ship you this great kit. It has everything a lot of other kits don't actually include. Be sure to also check the Paranormic Spirit Box. You can buy those both on the Paranormic website. Be sure to pick up the Paranormic Dowsing Rod Kit, and we will see you on the next one.